reading this morning comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, beginning at the first verse. He left that place and came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. On the Sabbath he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astounded. They said, "Where did this man get all this? What is his wisdom? What has been given to him? What deeds of power are being done by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and of Joseph, and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offence at him. Then Jesus said to them, "Prophets are not without honour, except in their hometown, and among their own kin, and in their own house." And he could do no deed of power there, except that he had laid his hands on a few sick people and cured them. And he was amazed at their unbelief. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
This reading, in the first instance, made me think of rejection. And in a very strange way, it's comforting that even Jesus was rejected during the 3 short years he was ministering. The comfort comes in the knowledge that when we are rejected, we share something with Jesus, that Jesus understood how we are feeling. This rejection can take many forms. Remember the time when you asked that girl out on a date, and she was washing her hair. Or you lost your job through a reorganization. Or you didn't get the job you wanted. Or you went down to stroke a dog and it snarled. Or when you knew deep down inside that you'd never measure up to a particular person's expectations. The list of kinds of rejection is endless. Rejection touches us deeply, more deeply than we'd like to admit. Stiff upper lip and all that. But it's not a bad thing to admit to. In fact, if we acknowledge rejection, it helps us to get over it, and the healing begins. Committed Christians often say that we need to hand it over to God. The atheist will say, "Get over it," or "move on." But our understandable thought to that is, "That's easy for you to say." But in accepting the rejection, in accepting the pain, we begin to hand it over to God. As I already said, in the first instance, this passage made me think of rejection, but we actually see both acceptance and rejection in it. Jesus was accompanied by his loyal disciples, and while some rejected partly because he was the son of a carpenter and his wife Mary, there were others who accepted what he was doing and what he was saying as wisdom. Doesn't this remind us of our own lives? There are simply times when you cannot get someone to see your point of view. It really is impossible. Brexit is a case in point, no matter what side of the argument that you are on. And so it was also with Jesus. Some said, "Yes, of course," while others said, "No way." How many times was Christ rejected? The New Testament is full of examples. But he was also accepted many times, and his message and ministry, though still rejected by many, has been accepted over and again the last 2,000 years or so. Even Jesus' most final rejection, when the crowd chose Barabbas, was an acceptance of his importance, and Pilate was disappointed. But in that ultimate rejection, Christ accepted the rejection, and in that acceptance, he was accepted by God, which is what we do as well when we accept Jesus, his birth, his death, and his resurrection. We need not understand, but we accept and have faith that it is so.